Inception is one of my favourite movies of all time, and I rewatched it last week, and I've still got goosebumps. Oh, okay, I'm not going to freak out in this video, but of course you know, I goddamn love Inception. It is in my top 30 favourite films of all time. It is one of my all-time favourites, and I've always wanted to talk about it. That's it, I always want to talk about Inception. Let's start off, of course, with the complex plot. You all know. Dreams within dreams. This is such an interesting idea, interesting plot. And I remember the first time watching this movie, I didn't totally understand it. It just makes you want to go back and rewatch the movie over and over again. And it's just such an interesting concept, an interesting idea. You all know this, and it's just such a great idea, concept for a movie. And I'm so glad something like that exists. And they do it so well and set up so much tension throughout all those sequences, and they do such a great job of doing that. And the musical score as well is fantastic. It's not like a memorable musical score, but it's just such a great beat, and it just makes some of the scenes so tense. And also the performances are amazing. I think Leonardo DiCaprio is fantastic as main lead in this movie. There's so much emotion with him, especially put into his family. There's so many great scenes with him. We learn so much about his character. There's some really emotional scenes with him and his wife and his children, and of course we all know the ending, which I will talk about later when we get into some spoilers. But I completely love that. And if you've never seen Inception, just watch it. I mean, come on, never seen Inception? What's wrong with you? But yeah, his performance is amazing. Tom Hardy is great in here. And everyone else, everyone does a great job in this film. There's so many good cast members in this movie that all have very interesting characters and all have things about them that are also interesting. The guy that gets stuck in limbo, I really like him in the movie. There's a very interesting tie. Just the movie constantly sets you up with tension and exhilaration all the way through. The last 40 minutes of this movie is some of my favourite filmed 40 minutes of all time. The city's moving, the walls moving up and down, the gravity's going, the truck nearly hitting the water, it's taking so long to hit the water, and when it hits, every single time it hits the water and I watch this movie, I just like, I feel it. I feel something, and it's something I look for in movies. The movies I love, there's only like 20, 30 movies that do this for me, and this is one of the movies that does that. It's one of those special movies that I just have that feeling. And you really know it when you feel it. You can't really describe it. It's just that feeling of just, this is great. This is amazing. This is impactful. Christopher Nolan's directing is some of the best directing I've ever seen. Of course, he directed the Dark Knight Batman movies, which I also love. And you can really tell his direction style is very, very good here. And of course, we're going to talk into the ending now. If you've never seen Inception, first thing you do now is go and see it. But I will be talking about the ending here, of course. It's the best movie ending of all time. One of the best movie endings of all time. It is so well done. It leaves you with so many questions. There's people that have brought out millions and millions of theories and questions trying to explain what's happened. In my opinion, it's just figurative. You just got to work it out for yourself. And it's great. Is he there with his kids? But he has a happy ending. It doesn't matter. It's a happy ending. It doesn't matter if it's real or it's not, or if it's just a dream. He's living the life he wants to live. And it's just very nice for his character, and I really, really love that in the movie. He just does such a great job at directing this, Christopher Nolan does, and directing each scene to add every single tension. And he only makes scenes that are needed for the film. There's never any scenes that feel boring or out of place. The only scenes that are in this movie are scenes that are either character developing or adding to the story. And it makes the movie have such a great pace to it. Some of the smaller scenes in the movie I actually really appreciate them, other than some of the big awesome action sequences, which there are. And just when they're going into dreams, when they're actually doing the big mission, the Inception, for the last half an hour, for the last hour or so, it's some of the most thrilling filmmaking I've ever seen. For that whole half an hour, your mouth is dropped, your fists are tight like this for the whole entire ending of this movie. There's just so much tension set up, and of course the emotional aspect of the film. Some of the way the film's visual style is also amazing, with the it's just so well, the way it visually tells us this story instead of using exposition. And it's just such a clever movie that does everything it needs to do. It does it so well with its characters and develops its characters enough to make us really care about them. It has the emotional moments that really grip you, and it has so many intense scenes and intense moments where sometimes you don't know what's going on, and that's great. The opening scene in this movie as well, I've never actually properly understood, and when it links to the ending, when they go into the last limbo sort of thing, I've never really got that, never really understood that. And I think with the movies like this, you sort of have to watch them over and over again to fully understand them, to fully appreciate them, and to love them. And Inception is one of my favorite movies of all time because it gives me that feeling of what I want to feel when I watch movies like this. And it's all because of everything in together making a perfect movie. There is nothing wrong with this movie. I can't find any tiniest of flaws. Throughout the entire film. It's an absolute masterpiece, and if you've never seen Inception, you must watch it because it is just a groundbreakingly intense movie. And by the way, it wasn't my favorite movie of the year it came out in 2010. It was my second favorite movie of that year. Got beaten by Toy Story 3, okay? But yeah, I absolutely adore Inception. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm so happy to finally review on my channel. But all that considered, is there any point me even telling you what grade and rating I'm going to give this movie? Because you probably already guessed. Of course, Inception gets an A+. And a 10 out of 10. Guys, comment your opinions down below. What do you think of this movie? It is absolutely 100% perfect. It is. Guys, comment your opinions down below. Of course, thanks for watching. Goodbye.